The air on the final day of the Willow Creek Carnival hummed with a bittersweet energy. Thicker than the scent of spun sugar and popcorn, 10-year-old Leo felt it deep in his chest as he pushed through the bustling crowd with his mother for as long as he could remember. The Carnivaliero's arrival marked the fading days of summer, a week of dazzling lights, thrilling screams from the Ferris wheel, and the comforting, slightly oily smell of the ancient carousel. But this year was different. Whispers had spread through town like spilled glitter. This was the last year the old owner was retiring, and no one was taking his place. Leo clutched the worn velvet of his pocket, where his carefully saved allowance coins lay heavy, knowing each moment now held a precious, fleeting weight. Every familiar sight seemed sharper, more beautiful, yet tinged with sadness. The Ferris wheel, usually a beacon of joyous squeals, creaked almost mournfully against the twilight sky. The ring toss booth, where Leo had never won the giant stuffed bear but always gotten a small prize, felt quieter. He spent longer than usual watching the strongman hammer slam down, the ding echoing with a strange finality. He bought a candied apple, the hard red shell cracking sweetly under his teeth, savoring the familiar tartness of the apple beneath. As if tasting a memory, he noticed the lines etched deeper on the face of the woman running the duck pond game, her smile seeming a little more weary. The knowledge that these sights, sounds, and smells were vanishing lent a profound sweetness to the simple act of being there. Drifting past the flickering lanterns strung between booths, Leo found himself drawn to Madame Zora's tent. He'd always been too shy or skeptical before, but tonight felt like a night for last chances. Pushing aside the heavy, beaded curtain, he entered a world of incense smoke and velvet shadows. Madame Zora, her eyes kind behind layers of kohl, didn't ask for money. She simply took his small hand in her warm, wrinkled one and traced the lines. "You carry a heavy heart tonight, young one," she murmured, her voice like dry leaves. "You fear the light going out." Leo nodded, unable to speak. "Remember," she continued, her gaze holding his, "the brightest lights aren't always the ones we see with our eyes, but the ones we carry within." Joy remembered is joy preserved. "Hold your carnival close." Here she gently tapped his chest. A fragile warmth bloomed inside him, fueled by Madame Zora's words. Leo sought out his greatest joy. The grand carousel, its majestic, prancing horses, frozen mid-gallop under a canopy of twinkling lights, had been his refuge since toddlerhood. He always chose the same horse, Midnight, a magnificent black steed with a flowing mane and one chipped ear. Tonight, Midnight seemed to gleam with a special dignity as the calliope music swelled, a familiar, brassy, slightly off-key melody that was the carnival soul. Leo climbed onto Midnight's back. He gripped the brass pole tightly as the carousel began its stately, magical circle up and down, around and around. The painted scenery blurring past, he leaned close to Midnight's wooden neck, whispering, "Thank you for all the rides." He imagined the horse understanding, felt the smooth wood warm beneath his palm, and let the music wash over him, memorizing every note, every creak of the platform. Leaving the carousel felt like stepping out of a dream. The hour was growing late, the crowds thinning. Leo used his remaining coins for one last ride on the Ferris, while sitting in the gently swaying gondola as it climbed higher and higher. The whole carnival unfurled beneath him. Like a glowing, chaotic jewel, he could see the striped tents, the snaking lines for the last corn dogs, the darting figures playing games, the distant, dark silhouette of the field where it all stood. The music seemed softer now, mingling with the chirping of crickets from the surrounding fields. From this height, the sadness mingled with a profound sense of wonder. He saw the beauty of the whole, fleeting spectacle, understanding for the first time how much it meant to everyone below. Laughing and shouting in the dwindling light, the cool night air kissed his face as they paused at the very top, back on solid ground. Leo knew it was truly time. He walked slowly towards the exit, past booths already being shuttered. The vibrant energy was ebbing, replaced by the quiet industry of the carnies starting the monumental task of packing up a world. He saw the strong man carefully wrapping his hammer. The duck pond lady folding her banners near the gate. The old carnival owner, Mr. Henderson, stood, watching, his face illuminated by a string of lights. Etched with a deep, quiet sorrow, Leo paused without a word. He walked up and simply held out his hand. Mr. Henderson looked down, surprised. Then a slow, genuine smile softened his weary features. He shook Leo Euro's small hand firmly, his own grip calloused and strong. "Been a good run, son," he said, his voice thick. A real good run. That simple handshake felt like passing a torch of memory. The next morning, Leo pedaled his bike back to the empty field long before breakfast, where just hours before a universe of light and sound had pulsed. There was only trampled grass, scattered popcorn kernels, and a few lonely pieces of brightly colored trash caught in the fence. The silence was immense, broken only by the wind sighing through the tall grass. At the field's edge he stood for a long time, breathing in the scent of damp earth and absence. He closed his eyes. Suddenly, he heard the ghostly echo of the calliope, saw the flash of midnight's mane, felt the sticky sweetness of the candied apple on his lips, and remembered the fortune teller's warm finger tapping his chest. A slow smile spread across his face. It wasn't gone, it was tucked away safe, a brilliant, sparkling ember glowing warmly inside him, a light he knew he would carry always. The carnival lived on, not on the field, but within the heart of the boy who had loved it best.